As discussed in part 1 of this video, there are 11 phylum. Let's discuss them in detail now. Phylum Porifera, also known as sponges. Porifera means organisms with holes. Sponges are primitive, mostly asymmetrical, multicellular organisms. They have a cellular level of organization. Sponges possess a water transport system with a central cavity, spongocoel, used for various functions like food gathering and waste removal. Water enters through small pores, ostia, and exits through the osculum. Choanocytes or collar cells line the spongocoel and canals. Sponges are supported by a skeleton made of spicules or spongin fibers. They are hermaphrodites, meaning they produce both eggs and sperm. Reproduction occurs asexually through fragmentation and sexually through gamete formation. Fertilization is internal, and they undergo indirect development with a distinct larval stage. Phylum Coelenterata are also known as Cnidaria. Cnidarians are mostly aquatic, radially symmetrical animals, and they can be either sessile or free-swimming. They have specialized stinging cells called cnidoblasts that contain nematocysts for defense and capturing prey. Cnidarians exhibit a tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. They possess a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening, the mouth. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Some cnidarians, like corals, have a calcium carbonate skeleton. Cnidarians have two main body forms, polyp, cylindrical and sessile, and medusa, umbrella-shaped and free-swimming. Some cnidarians alternate between these two forms in a process called alternation of generation, metagenesis. Polyps reproduce asexually to produce medusae, while medusae form polyps sexually. Phylum Ctenophora, ctenophores, also known as comb jellies, are exclusively marine creatures with radially symmetrical bodies. They have a tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. Ctenophores possess 8 external rows of ciliate comb plates that aid in movement. These animals exhibit bioluminescence, meaning they can emit light. Ctenophores carry out both extracellular and intracellular digestion. They have separate sexes and reproduce only through sexual means. Fertilization is external, and they undergo indirect development. Phylum Platyhelminths, also known as flatworms, they are characterized by their dorsoventrally flattened bodies. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and aquilumate. Parasitic flatworms have hooks and suckers for attachment. Some flatworms absorb nutrients directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. They have internal fertilization and can undergo various larval stages. Examples include Taenia, tapeworm, and Fasciola, liver fluke. Phylum Aschelminths, also known as roundworms, they may be free-living, aquatic, terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animals. They have an organ system level of body organization. Roundworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomate animals. They possess a complete alimentary canal and a well-developed muscular pharynx. Excretory function is handled by excretory tubes and pores. Roundworms have separate sexes, dioecious, with females often being longer than males. Fertilization is internal, and development can be direct or indirect. Examples include Ascaris, roundworm, Wuchereria, filaria worm, and Ancylostoma, hookworm. Phylum Annelida, also known as segmented worms. Annelids, or segmented worms, can be aquatic, marine and freshwater, terrestrial, free-living, or parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of body organization with bilateral symmetry. Annelids are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate animals. Their bodies are marked by distinct segments or metameres. Longitudinal and circular muscles aid in locomotion. Some aquatic annelids have lateral appendages called parapodia for swimming. Annelids possess a closed circulatory system, nephridia for osmoregulation and excretion, and a neural system with paired ganglia. Reproduction methods vary, including sexual reproduction. Examples include Nereis, Fatima, earthworm, and Hirudinaria, blood-sucking leech. Phylum Arthropoda. Arthropods, meaning jointed legs, constitute the largest phylum in the animal kingdom, including insects. They have an organ system level of organization and are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented, and coelomate. Arthropods feature a chitinous exoskeleton and jointed appendages, legs, antennae, mouthparts. Respiratory organs include gills, book lungs, or a tracheal system. Circulation is of the open type, and they possess various sensory organs. Excretion occurs through Malpighian tubules. Most are dioecious, fertilization is internal, and they are mainly oviparous. Examples encompass apis, honey bee, bombyx, silkworm, laxifer, lac insect, and more. Phylum Mollusca. Mollusks form a diverse group found in aquatic and terrestrial habitats. They have an organ system level of organization, are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate. Mollusks typically have an unsegmented body covered by a calcareous shell. Key features include a distinct head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. The mantle covers the visceral hump and creates a mantle cavity with feather-like gills. Mollusks have a radula, rasping organ, in their mouth for feeding. Respiration and excretion are essential functions. Most mollusks are dioecious and oviparous, with indirect development. Examples consist of pilla, apple snail, pincatada, pearl oyster, and octopus, devilfish. Phylum Echinodermata. Echinoderms, known as spiny-skinned animals, are primarily marine with radial symmetry. Adults have endoskeletons composed of calcareous ossicles. They exhibit organ system level of organization, with adults showing radial symmetry and larvae displaying bilateral symmetry. Echinoderms are triploblastic and coelomate, with a unique water vascular system for movement and feeding. They lack a distinct excretory system. Reproduction is sexual, with external fertilization and indirect development involving free-swimming larvae. Examples include asterias, starfish, echinus, sea urchin, and cucumaria, sea cucumber. Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordates are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate animals with organ system level organization. Their bodies consist of an anterior proboscis, collar, and long trunk. A rudimentary structure called the stomochord is present in the collar region, resembling the notochord in chordates. Hemichordates respire through gills and have an open circulatory system. The proboscis gland serves as their excretory organ. Hemichordates are dioecious, with separate sexes and external fertilization. Development is indirect. Examples include balanoglosses and saccoglosses. Phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is characterized by several key features. Bilateral symmetry. Triploblastic with organ system level of classification. Possession of a notochord and a nerve cord. Presence of a postanal tail. And closed circulatory system. Phylum Chordata is further divided into subphyla. Let's study them one by one. Number 1 Urochordata. Adults are fixed to the substratum. Adult body enclosed in a tunic made of tunicin. Notochord present in larval stage, disappears in adults. Larva is mobile and undergoes metamorphosis. Number 2 Cephalochordata. Atrium is present. Both adults and larvae are motile. Tail persists throughout life. Progressive metamorphosis. Notochord present throughout life. Numerous well-developed pharyngeal gill slits. Number 3 Vertebrata. They are advanced chordates with a cranium around the brain. Notochord is replaced by a vertebral column in adults. They have high degree of cephalization. Multilayered epidermis. 3 types of muscles: striped, unstriped, and cardiac. Well-developed column. Complete alimentary canal. 3 or 4-chambered heart. Well-developed respiratory and excretory systems. Endocrine glands present. Mostly reproduce sexually, except hagfish. Examples include humans. Classification of vertebrates in classes. Number 1. Class Cyclostomata, for example lamprey and hagfish. They ectoparasites on fishes. They have elongated body with gill slits. Sucking and circular mouth, no jaws. Cartilaginous cranium and vertebral column. They are cold-blooded, marine, and migrate to fresh water for spawning. Number 2. Class Chondrichthyes, for example, shark and stingray. They are marine animals with cartilaginous endoskeleton. They have ventral mouth, separate gill slits. Tough skin with placoid scales. They are predators and have 2-chambered heart. Some have electric organs or poison stings. Number 3. Class Osteichthyes, bony fishes. They have streamlined body with bony endoskeleton. They also have terminal mouth, operculum-covered gills, scales on skin, air bladder for buoyancy. They have 2-chambered heart and are cold-blooded. Mostly oviparous. Number 4. Class Amphibia, for example, frogs and toads. They have moist, scaleless skin. They possess tympanum for hearing, cloaca. They do respiration through gills, lungs, and skin. They have a 3-chambered heart, cold-blooded, and perform external fertilization, oviparous. Number 5. Class Reptilia, for example, snakes and crocodiles. They have dry skin with scales, no external ears. 2 pairs of limbs, 3-chambered heart. Poikilothermic, internal fertilization. Oviparous with direct development. Number 6. Class Aves, birds. They have feathers, beak, and wings. 4-chambered heart, homoothermic. They do respiration by lungs, air sacs. Internal fertilization, oviparous. Number 7. Class Mammalia, mammals. They have mammary glands, 2 pairs of limbs. Skin with hair, external ears. They also have a 4-chambered heart and are homeothermic. They perform internal fertilization and have diverse reproduction methods. Also, you can learn this chapter through NCERT solutions, NCERT exemplars, and revision notes, which are available in the EduRev app.